Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello,
Hi,
hello.
teacher. How are you?
Hi,
I-
me.
I'm doing good. How are you guys today? Fine.
Fine, teacher.
All right, guys. Perfect. How was the storm in your houses? It was very, very strong, right?
Yes, teacher. It's raining here.
Hmm? Is it still raining? Where? Here it already passed. It's not raining anymore, but it was very, very strong. Well, guys, let's start our class number 3. We're going to start the second part of class 3 today, September 11th. Let me show you the agenda and then we will start working on the activities, okay? So first, we're going to watch a video that's related to our previous topic, so work-life balance. We will watch it. After that, I will check the attendance, so I'll give you some time to connect the rest of the students missing from the class. After this video, we will check the attendance list. Then today we will focus on talking about the exam that we're going to take in this level B2.5. Okay, so we're going to have an overview of the exam, what are each part, what it consists of, and then we're going to practice like the main information or the main topic about the exam. And today we will focus on listening tips. Okay, so I will share with you some tips for the listening part of the exam. We will do some practice and you're going to complete an activity in Moodle, which is the sentence completion activity part in test 1 in Moodle. Okay, so that is the plan. If we have time at the end, you are going to do a little speaking activity, speaking presentation, but this is only if we have enough time at the end. If not, it's okay. We can skip this activity. The important thing today is to focus on overview of the exam and practicing some listening for the final test. Okay? So let's start, as I mentioned, with the video related to our previous topic, which is work-life balance. All right. So I'm going to send you the link and I will give you some minutes to work on the video individually. So you will have some multiple choice questions as you watch it, as you go along. So after you watch it, we will watch it again together and answer the questions, all right? So let's take 6 or 7 minutes to watch the video, then we will watch it together. All right, guys, did you finish watching the video?
Not yet, teacher.
Not yet? All right. All right, guys, as soon as you finish watching the video, share your scores on the chat, please. All right, guys, perfect. Thank you for sharing your answers. Now we can check attendance. So I will start with the list. I will turn off my camera just for a while. And we will check the attendance, okay? Karen Acevedo.
Present, teacher.
All right. Santiago Fonseca.
Here, teacher.
All right. Kiara Martinez.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Jorge Moreno.
Present.
All right. Natalia Navarro.
Present.
Okay. Diego Olarte.
Present, teacher.
All right. Manuela Ortiz.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Jessica Ríos.
Present, teacher.
Catherine Rodríguez.
Present, Miss.
Okay. Marlon Sánchez.
Hi, teacher, present.
All right. Mendy Santa. Mendy. Manuel Sepúlveda.
Hello, teacher. Present.
Okay. María Alejandra Vega.
Present, teacher.
Okay. And Vanessa Zambrano.
Present, teacher.
Okay, Vanessa, thank you. All right. We only have one student missing, that's Mandy. All right, guys, so let's start with our topic for today. All right, oops, sorry. Okay, so here we have them after the video. Today, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to focus on the FCE exam. Okay, so I want you to have knowledge of the exam structure. How are you going to do it? What are you going to find? And today we will focus on the listening part, okay, or some listening tips, okay? So let's start reading. Let's start with Maria Alejandra. You help me read the overview, the main definition for this exam.
About FC exam,
Mhm.
the Cambridge English B2 field exam, previously known as the FCE exam or the Cambridge Field Certificate, is designed for students with upper intermediate English skills. It is the most popular of the Cambridge English exams because B2 is often the minimum level required by university programs in English-speaking countries. The exam lasts 209 minutes in total.
Okay, very good. All right, guys. So the FC exam, the exam that you will present at the end is based on the FCE. It's not the official first certificate English, but is an exam based on this standard, okay, in this structure. So the FCE is also known as the Cambridge English B2 or the Cambridge First Certificate, okay? So it is to test, designed to test the proficiency level of students of B2 level. And this is often the minimum level required by universities in English-speaking countries, okay? So in total is 209 minutes. This means 3.5 hours. That is why we will do the exam in 2 days, okay? So you will do the listening and the writing part one day, and the next will be reading and use of English, okay? So it will be divided. If you have any questions, guys, while we are checking each part, please let me know, all right? If you have any questions. Okay, so let's analyze the first part is reading and use of English, okay? Let's read, for example, Jorge, you read the first part, please.
Shows you can deal confidently with different types of tests, such as fiction, newspaper, and magazines. Test your use of English with tags that show how well you can control your grammar and vocabulary.
All right, so the reading and the use of English consists of 7 parts. This, here we have like a summary of each part. So the first part is a multiple choice exercise, choosing a word from a choice of 4, okay, to complete gaps in a text, okay? So the focus here or the idea is that you choose vocabulary in relation between words, okay? And relationships between words. The second part is open close. So it's for you to write the missing word without any option, as we have done before, these type of exercises. You read the text and then you fill in the gap with any word, okay, to complete it. You will have 8 gaps in the text. So the focus here, or the objective, is for you to test your grammar and your vocabulary and knowledge of expressions, okay? Number 3 is word formation. So as we saw, from verb to adjective, from verb to noun, or from noun to verb, okay? This is word formation. Choosing the word from the choosing the form of the word given so that it fits into the gap in the text, okay? So this is to test your grammatical accuracy and knowledge of vocabulary and also expressions, okay? So these are the 3 first parts: multiple choice, open close, and word formation. Then we have keyword transformation. So this is to use the keyword to complete a new sentence. We have also done these exercises. So you are giving a sentence, a keyword, and you need to transform the sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the sentence before. So the focus of this, or the objective, is to test your reading for detail of understanding of the text. All right? Sorry, no, I skipped. Number 4 is for grammatical accuracy, okay? Grammatical accuracy. Oh, just give me a second, guys. Just a minute, please. All right, so that is keyword transformation. Then number 5 is multiple choice questions from a text. So you analyze the text. So it wants to evaluate then your understanding of the paragraph or the text. Number 6 is choosing the sentence that fits into a gap. So we have done this already. You have several paragraphs, and then you select one sentence that completes the gap, right? So that continues the idea. This is to understand text structure. This is the purpose. And the final part is deciding which of the short extracts or paragraphs contains given information, okay? So this is reading to locate a specific info, detail, opinion, or attitude. So this is mainly reading and part of writing. So this is called use of English, right? And in total, it has 7 parts. All right, so remember, guys, if you have questions, please let me know, raise your hand, and we will solve them, okay? All right, so that is the first. Then let's analyze the writing part, okay? Karen, can you read the definition for writing?
Yes, teacher. Requires you to be able to produce 2 different pieces of writing, such as letters, reports, reviews, and essays.
Yes, and essays. So in the writing for this test, you are not going to write one text, but 2. So that is why we have 2 days. First is an essay. We are going to cover the structure of an essay, argumentative essay. In other classes, we're going to study this structure and we're going to practice it, okay? So it's to write an essay. In this essay has to be between 140 and 190 words, okay? The focus of this is writing for an English teacher in a formal style. So here we will check that you follow the argumentative essay steps: an introduction, the arguments for, the arguments against, and a conclusion. Okay, so this is briefly an essay. And the second part, you are going to write another text, but it can be either a letter, a report, a review, or an article. Okay, so this is you are going to focus on writing for a specific target. It can be using the appropriate register, the appropriate vocabulary, the appropriate tone for either a report, a review, a letter. Okay, so don't be surprised in the exam because you will need to write two texts. Okay, essay, and the other one is going to be either a letter, a report, a review, or an article. All right? Okay, so we continue. Okay, then we have the listening part. Let's see, maybe Santiago, can you read the short definition for the listening?
Sure, teacher. 4 parts requires you to be able to follow and understand a range of spoken materials such as news programs, uh, presentations, and everyday conversations.
Very good. Okay. Okay. Diego, don't be scared. Okay, so the exam it's more difficult, more challenging than the others, but it's not impossible. And we will dedicate time in our lessons, in our classes, to give you some tips to practice, especially with the writing. Okay, so don't worry. That is what level B2.5 is for. So we reinforce the knowledge that we already have, but also preparing for this type of test. Okay, so do not worry. Okay, so the listening will have 4 parts. I wanted to give emphasis to this because normally in our test we have 2 parts. So I want you to be prepared mentally that you will have 4 parts of listening. Okay, it's longer and you need to be focused because there is one after the other. Okay, so the listening. Let's see each part. What do we have to do in each part of the listening? Part 1 is 8 short text. So you will hear the short text twice, number 1, then twice number 2, twice number 3. So this one doesn't repeat the whole text twice, but there are short clips, okay? Short clips. So the first clip is twice. The second clip is repeated twice. The third is repeated twice, okay? That is part number 1 of the listening. This exercise we have already done in the test, okay? This is multiple choice. The idea here of what is testing is that you get the gist. What is the gist? This means the overall meaning, the core or the main idea, okay? That is the gist. For you to understand like the overall idea or some details or to define the purpose or the attitude of the speaker, okay? So that can be the purpose of part 1. In part 2, you're going to hear a full conversation, a long test with completion questions. So here there are no options. You will have the gaps to type in the words, okay? This is to locate and record specific information. So here it's useful that we take some written notes, okay? For a sentence completion. Number 3, it's five short sentence, text, 5 short recordings, and you have a theme to match it from 1 to 8. Okay, so you will get the audio and you have 8 options. So you match it to the correct theme. Again, this is to test understanding the overall idea or the main point. And the last part, number 4, is again a long text with 7 multiple choice questions. This is to understand the attitude, the opinion, the main idea. So you can see first is short text, then a long text, then short, and then finally a long text. Okay? So that is basically the structure for the listening. Right? Today we will focus on this part and we will do some practice activities for the listening. Okay, this one I wanted to show you, but this part is going to be a little different for us, okay? Because in this exam, it generally requires to have more than one evaluator. So in the official test, you can have 2 or 3 professors or 3 evaluators listening to you. But because of time, we don't have 2 evaluators, so it is going to be only me. So the structure is not going to be this long, okay? So I don't want to get into too much detail because the speaking part is going to be different from the official test, okay? But in general is we will check that you can give personal info, you can describe, compare, give your opinion, you can justify ideas, use appropriate vocabulary to agree or disagree. Okay, so that is mainly what we're going to focus on in the speaking test, right? Okay, do we have any questions about this, about the exam structure? Okay, yes, Santiago.
Sorry, teacher, maybe you already said, but
It's
I have
okay.
not paid much attention. We will have to do this test to get the certification of B2. That's true?
Yes, so this is not the standard or the official test for Cambridge. This is an exam designed in this style, okay? So you will get
Okay.
the
Based
certificate
on it.
from, yes, you will get the certificate from the Language Institute, but I don't think this is accepted like on a university. Maybe you will have to take the official or standard exam, okay? Yeah, the certificate is from WIS, so you can use it. But for universities, I am not sure they accept it because they only take like Cambridge or TOEFL or IELTS. So this is like different, okay?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
But this will help you like to get an idea of what it is. All right, guys, so that's the structure. And now we're going to do a little review with this exercise. This is just a multiple choice activity. Let me show you. All right, so you will get 6 questions regarding what we just saw about this exam, okay? So I'll give you some time to answer them, and then we can socialize the answers. All right, guys, I think you are ready. So let's socialize the answers, okay? Let's check. Okay, what's the answer here? What's FCE?
All previous.
All previous, yeah, all of them mean the same. Okay, let's go with the next. What's the level? B2. Level B2. Okay, how much time? How long?
200.
9 minutes.
9 minutes. Okay, so 3.5 hours. Okay, we continue. All right, let's check the points.
The last one.
Yeah, it's this one,
Let's
the
say
bottom last. Okay, the listening consists of 3 parts.
False.
It is
false.
okay. Sorry, it's false. There's some misspelling here. False. Number 5. How many parts does the reading and the use of language have in the FCE?
7
parts.
parts.
7 parts in total. All right, let's check. The last question, how many writings should be done in the section of writing in the FCE?
2 ratings.
2 writing activities. All right, guys. Excellent. Very good. So that's the overview of the FCE exam, type of exam that we will complete in this level, okay? Well, now I want to focus on the listening part. So I think, let's see how much time. Yes, we have some time. So I want to go through each video. Let's see if we can go a little bit quicker. This person, who recorded the videos, is analyzing each part of the listening test. Okay, so part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. All right. Yes. Yes, Karen.
Sorry, teacher, before to start, I I want to ask you
Mm-hmm.
when will be the exam?
The exam. Okay. The exact dates. Let me tell you. Okay, where it is. Okay. Did teacher Sandy tell you that the project is divided in 2 days? Yes, she told you that
Yes,
The
teacher.
presentation of the
Okay.
project, yes.
Yes. Okay, so here it is. I will share the dates with you over here. Okay. So we will start with the projects on September 19th. That is the first part of the project. Then on September 20, we have the project part 2, and then the exam part 1. Okay. So in the don't look at the names. This is for the other group, but This will be done in our class, so you will present the first part of the exam with me, all right? The first part of the exam, you will present it with me. And then the second part of the exam, you will present it on September 21st with teacher Sandy. And then the second will be the speaking exam with me, right? So we will start on September 20th, Wednesday and Thursday, all right? Those are the dates.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
All right. Very good. Okay, guys, so we are going to focus now on the listening part of this test. I think I'm going to pause the recording if we are watching the video just to avoid any copyright issues, okay? But I'm just going to skip a little bit and then let's project it. It's just basically explaining what we already know, 8 different dialogues, and you will have 3 different options. So I'm going to skip until the tips that he mentions. And the first tip that he mentioned is to underline keywords in the question, okay? So you know exactly what information is asking. They're asking from you. For example, in the sentence that he has, what is the man doing? So this is the focus. The action and the subject. What's the man doing? Complaining, whether agreeing with the woman, or doubt about the future. Okay, so the options are very, very different. So it's quite easy for us to recognize what the answer would be. So that is the first tip, to underline keywords. Let's skip a little further. All right. The second tip he mentioned is to eliminate answer. So you can eliminate at least one of the options when you are listening to the exercise. The next tip is to listen out for synonyms. In this exam, especially at this level, we are not going to find the information literally, okay? We will also need to, we will always need to look for synonyms or paraphrasing the ideas, all right? It's not going to be literal. So listen for synonyms, okay? For example, you will hear a radio interview. What is the man doing? He's complaining about the weather, so he might be unhappy, unsatisfied. Agreeing, this sentence, I see what you mean. This means that he is agreeing. Or, I don't think so. It's like expressing doubt, okay? So always look out for synonyms, all right? Well, basically, those are the tips for the first part, all right? So that is just a brief summary of the video. We're going to do the same with the others. I'm sending you the links in case you want to review them for later. But that is for part number 1. Underline keywords, eliminate answers, and pay attention to synonyms. Let's look at number 2, or part number 2. Okay, let me skip a little bit. All right, so he's basically telling us here the gap will have around 10 gaps, but each gap can have between 1 and 3 words, okay? So we need to pay attention to that. There's not more than 3 generally. It's between 1 and 3 words for each gap, all right? So the tip here is to underline keywords and also try to figure out or predict what the gap is, what the word in the gap is. We have talked about this before, so reading the text, you can imagine, oh, is it a number? Is it going to be a place? Is it a name? Is it a school subject? So it's much easier if you already have an idea of what the word might be than if you just start listening and try to get all this information at once. No, it's much more difficult. So always in the gaps, try to think or predict what the word is. Is it a verb? Is it a number? Is it a proper name? Okay, anything that might apply. All right, so try to predict the word. That is the first tip. And okay, this one is very important. The last tip, well, he says, don't panic, just don't stress out. If you miss the word, just remember that you will hear it again. So do not worry, just continue listening and try to pay attention as you go. Don't focus on, oh, this already passed and I didn't get the answer. So no, try to focus in the moment what you're hearing because you will hear it twice, okay? And this one is very important, guys. If you don't get the answer, just try to put something that is logical, as this is tied to the first tip. Think about what the word might be, but please do not leave blank spaces. It's better that you write something that you think it's logical that might apply than to leave it empty, all right? So please do not do this. Okay? And finally, be careful with your answer. Make sure that the answer fits grammatically. So, for example, if it says there is one, the next word must be singular. We don't say there is one houses with S, right? So make sure that your answer fits grammatically with the sentence. All right? Those are the tips for part number 2. So if you have any questions, guys, just let me know as we go along, all right? That is for the gap. Now let's see quickly parts 3 and 4, and then we go to our practice. All right, so let's take a look at his description. Like difficult here. Okay. So part number 3. We have also done these type of exercises, and here you will hear people speaking about, for example, what they do in the part-time jobs. So you have some sentences, some main ideas, and then you have the speaker. Speaker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you need to choose what each speaker is talking about. All right, so that is basically point or part number 3. You have the ideas, and then you have to select the correct speaker for each idea.
Very important. So what can you do to improve your marks here? Well, I've got 2.
All right, so what are the tips in here? So again, working with synonyms, I'm saying saving up for something. I am setting money aside. Let's see other synonyms. My parents persuade me, so they convince me. It's stressful, is under a lot of pressure, so always focus on synonyms in these type of exercises. This is what's going to help us in this part. It's focusing on synonyms. All right? So that is part number 3. I'm going really quickly, so we don't have much time to watch all the videos, but I will have the links on the presentation for whenever you want to watch them and take a closer, more detailed look at them, okay? Okay, and this one is for part number 4. This is the last exercise for listening, okay? Let's pay attention. What do we have to do here? We're listening to someone being interviewed, okay? So they will be interviewed, and we have a question and 3 multiple choice answers. That is the exercise. For example, Jack says that he enjoys school because he plays in the school rugby team, he enjoys the variety of new lessons, or his friends are supportive. So you will hear to Jack's interview or conversation, and you need to select the appropriate answer. Okay? We will have 7 questions in this part. All the parts of the exam, you will hear it twice. And they give you 1 minute to read through the question before the listening begins, okay? But in our exam, as we do it online, and you can press play when you feel ready, you can read the text before the listening starts, okay? So take advantage of that, read the text before it starts, okay? Well, the tips in this part is use the preparation time, again, underline keywords, think of synonyms, and eliminate answers. So basically, these tips apply for every part of the listening test. Keywords, look for synonyms or pay attention to synonyms, and try to eliminate answers as you go. And please do not leave any blanks, any blank spaces in your text, okay? Well, that is it, the summary for listening, the listening parts and some tips. Now, guys, it's your turn to practice. So I'm sending you first this link. Now we're going to practice the listening, okay? In this part, it's part number 3. So as we saw, we will hear different speakers talking about computer games. So you select for speaker 1, what is this person talking about? The nature of computer games. So I want to read it together, and then we will play the audio all together. Let's see, for example, Manuel, can you read the instruction, please?
Yes, teacher. You'll hear 5 different people talking about computer games. For questions 1 to 5, choose from the list of their views on computer games. Use each option only once. There is one extra option which you don't need to use.
Okay, very good. Let's see, Chiara, can you read the options, please? All the options.
The nature of computer games could benefit society. Restrictions are discouraging gamers from buying games legally. Too many children are addicted to only games. Computer games prevent children's learning other things. Game regulators need to take several things into account. People are unnecessarily worried about the harmful effects of games.
Yes, the harmful effects of games. All right, so those are the options. We have the same options for all the speakers. You are going to listen twice. I will play the recording twice, and then you can have some time to answer, okay? You can take the link Let's listen all together.
Speaker 1.
Okay, can you hear it?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
All right.
Some children just can't live without it. They really are hooked. The colours die away and your kids scream in protest. It's as if you've just taken a drug away from them. We've got to accept the fact that these machines are having a terrible effect on children's standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days. They feel that they have to do it to pass tests, so they just stare at the screen pushing those buttons. They don't have to use their brains or their memory. These gadgets are the cause of so much underachievement in today's society.
Speaker 2. One of the things games developers have to worry about is how to prevent people from copying the games illegally and distributing them on the internet. Some companies have gone to great lengths to make sure that everyone who plays the game is a legitimate user. For example, you might have to have a permanent internet connection to play. This is a problem for some people if their internet connection isn't reliable, so they prefer to buy pirated versions which don't have all these restrictions. Speaker 3.
I realise that a lot of these pay-for-free games are designed to become addictive. You play for free, but once you've invested time and effort into your game, you start paying real money to progress further into the game. With people spending huge sums of money on virtual items, I can see why governments might want to regulate games like these. But on the other side, these gaming companies are businesses and they need to make money. Governments should focus on the industry's business model rather than the game content. It's a balancing act, because the last thing you want to do is stamp out the creativity of small companies.
Speaker 4.
A lot of games are attractive because the virtual world is fairer than the real world. Your success isn't determined by your age, social status, or education. Your peers are loyal, and when you do something good, you are instantly rewarded. So there's a real sense of achievement. The sense of community in the gaming world is actually really strong. And what we really need to do is bring some of this spirit of working together and accomplishing tasks into the real world. People should stop criticising these games and start thinking about how we can incorporate the positive spirit of gaming into our real lives.
Speaker 5.
There have been a lot of studies into whether gaming encourages violent behaviour, but as far as I know, they haven't been able to come up with any conclusive evidence. Juvenile crime in the States is at a 30-year low, and there is also some evidence that most antisocial acts are committed by kids who don't play computer games. I reckon all this hype about violent games is a bigger problem than the games themselves. It makes adults suspicious of their kids and tries to blame big social issues on games rather than eliminating the real cause of youth problems, such as home life and mental stability.
Speaker 1.
Some children just can't live without it. They really
All right, guys, we listened once. Let's listen one more time, okay?
Speaker 1.
Some children just can't live without it. They really are hooked. The colours die away and your kids scream in protest. It's as if you've just taken a drug away from them. We've got to accept the fact that these machines are having a terrible effect on children's standards of literacy. Kids just aren't interested in reading these days. They feel that they have to do it to pass tests, so they just stare at the screen pushing those buttons. They don't have to use their brains or their memory. These gadgets are the cause of so much underachievement in today's society.
Speaker 2. One of the things games developers have to worry about is how to prevent people from copying the games illegally and distributing them on the internet. Some companies have gone to great lengths to make sure that everyone who plays the game is a legitimate user. For example, you might have to have a permanent internet connection to play. This is a problem for some people if their internet connection isn't reliable, so they prefer to buy pirated versions which don't have all these restrictions. Speaker 3.
I realise that a lot of these pay-for-free games are designed to become addictive. You play for free, but once you've invested time and effort into your game, you start paying real money to progress further into the game. With people spending huge sums of money on virtual items, I can see why governments might want to regulate games like these. But on the other side, these gaming companies are businesses and they need to make money. Governments should focus on the industry's business model rather than the game content. It's a balancing act, because the last thing you want to do is stamp out the creativity of small companies.
Speaker 4.
A lot of games are attractive because the virtual world is fairer than the real world. Your success isn't determined by your age, social status, or education. Your peers are loyal, and when you do something good, you are instantly rewarded. So there's a real sense of achievement. The sense of community in the gaming world is actually really strong. And what we really need to do is bring some of this spirit of working together and accomplishing tasks into the real world. People should stop criticising these games and start thinking about how we can incorporate the positive spirit of gaming into our real lives.
Speaker 5.
There have been a lot of studies into whether gaming encourages violent behaviour, but as far as I know, they haven't been able to come up with any conclusive evidence. Juvenile crime in the States is at a 30-year low, and there is also some evidence that most antisocial acts are committed by kids who don't play computer games. I reckon all this hype about violent games is a bigger problem than the games themselves. It makes adults suspicious of their kids and tries to blame big social issues on games rather than eliminating the real cause of youth problems, such as home life and mental stability.
All right, guys, perfect. Do we have our answers? Do you think we are ready to share?
Yes, teacher.
Yes? Okay, let's start. So for speaker number 1, what was the main idea of this conversation?
I haven't checked, teacher. Maybe computer games prevent children learning other things.
Okay, computer games prevent children learning other things. Do the rest of the students agree? Do you think it's correct?
Yes, teacher. She
Yes.
says that the children is not interested in reading these days.
Okay, we can double check with the script here.
The game have a terrible effect.
Yes, they are having a terrible effect on children's standards of literacy. Yeah, this is about reading. Yeah, I would say, where is it? Here. They are causing underachievement in today's society. Very good. Okay, the second one. What did you select?
Restrictions are discounting.
Okay, restrictions are discouraging gamers from buying games legally. Let's see. One of the speaker developers had to worry about is ways to prevent from copying the games illegally. Some companies have gone to great lengths to make sure that everyone who plays is legitimate. This is a problem if their internet connection isn't reliable, so they prefer to buy pirated versions which don't have all these restrictions. Yes, this is correct. Number 2. Number 3. What did you select, guys?
Game regulators.
Money.
Okay, Catherine, tell me.
Restriction are too many children are addicted to games.
To online games. What do you guys think? Do you agree?
I think is game regulators need to take several things into account.
Game regulators need to take several things into account. Well, let's take a look. I realize that these people pay for free games. With people spending time, huge sums of money, I can see what governments might want to regulate. But on the other side, these gaming companies are businesses and they need to make money. Government should focus on the industry business rather than the game. It's a balancing because the last thing you want to do is stamp out the creativities. Yes, I would say they need to take several things into account. Okay, for speaker number 4, let's hear maybe Chiara or Maria or Marlon. I haven't heard from you today. So what is your answer for number 4, speaker 4?
Teacher, I
Maybe
think that people
nature of
are
computer.
necessarily worried about the harmful effects
Effects
of.
of games. Okay, let's take a look. A lot of games are attractive. Yeah, people should stop criticizing the games. Okay, and incorporate the spirits. You can okay, I'm not quite sure. Okay, and the last one, number 5, what did you guys select? Maybe this one?
I put the last one, teacher. People are unnecessarily worried.
Okay, so we have a problem here. We're going to see the last. There have been studies into whether gaming encourages violent behavior. They haven't been able to come up with any conclusive evidence. Juvenile crime in the States is a 30-year low. I reckon all this hype is bigger than the problem itself. Okay, so I would say this one, and maybe this one could be the nature of computer games.
Computer games could be
Yes.
benefit.
Could benefit society. Okay,
Yes,
maybe this is it. So let's check our answers. Yes. Okay, so we had a little confusion there, but we got the correct answers. Okay, so in these exercises we need to be very careful, guys, right? So to pay close attention because the differences can be subtle between one or the other, right? But that's why you can have all these links as extra practice, and well, also we can use the Moodle. So speaking of Moodle, we're going to complete that exercise. We will have maybe 10-15 minutes for the Moodle, and then I think we can have some time for the final like conversation. So let's work on that. Let me open the Moodle and show you what is the activity for today. Just a second, please. Okay, so go to your Moodles. And for today, you are going to complete this exercise. Listening. Oh, let me double check. I forgot what it is. It's in test 1, in the listening, you're going to do the sentence completion. Okay? So again, go to test 1, listening, sentence completion. So the second exercise, okay, sentence completion. You're going to do the activity right now. We will have around 10 minutes to complete it. You can play the audio and fill in the blanks with the correct word. Okay. All right, guys, let's try to finish up the activity. Let's have 3 more minutes. All right, guys, listen. So we had some time, 15 minutes to complete the activity. I will download the results for this activity tomorrow before 6 p.m. All right, so that is the deadline for all the other students who couldn't attend today's lesson. Or if you are trying again, you can do it until tomorrow at that time. Okay? In the last 15 minutes of the class, I want you to work in groups. So we're going to do just a little activity to finish up with some speaking. Okay? So this activity is going to be about famous entrepreneurs, so business people. You can are going to create a very short presentation about these entrepreneurs. Okay, so the first is Shu Confei. So you will present her name, date of birth, how did their business start, and why were they successful. Okay, so we have one in each. Try to do it quickly. It's just a short activity for you to finish off our class today with some speaking, all right? So, and we will check it tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to create your groups and give you some extra time to work together. Number 4. Okay, you can work to the breakout groups.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, hello.
I'm not sure for this activity. We have to looking for information for this person.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, teacher.
Look it up on the internet.
Okay, teacher.
Mm-hmm. Jeff. Yes.
Hi, teacher.
Yes.
Catherine, I don't know what happened.
She's writing on your slide or disconnected.
I think that
She disconnected. Mm-hmm. She disconnected. She's not connected in the class.
but she was participating in this classroom, but I don't know what happened with her.
All right. Uh-huh. Let me, doesn't matter. You can, she's back. Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Hola, hola.
Hello, Manuela. Where is Manuela?
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Hi, teacher.
Hi.
We are
Confused.
answering the question.
Okay, why are you confused?
We had only to answer with the information, or we have to write a text, like a biography.
No, it's not necessary to write a biography. Just answer the questions, and tomorrow we will share your answers, okay? So just, you don't need to write like a whole text. Just give key information, okay?
Okay.
Oh, okay, teacher. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Hi, Manuela.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, hello. All
I'm
right. Okay, you were with group number 1, I think.
I don't know. I am alone.
Okay, let me put you here.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Hello. Okay, is Santiago or Marlon here connected?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
But I connecting with my phone, my cell phone.
All right.
In case.
So you can work in number 2, guys, about Shu Kun Fei. Okay.
Teacher, the link again, please.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
About
teacher.
to convey. Mhm.
Ahí éramos el grupo.
Hey, teacher, we already finished, I think.
All right, you finished? Let me double check.
No.
You're
Only,
missing the last question, right?
yes, it is in the chat.
Okay.
Or why were oh no, or maybe to his ability to identify market opportunities and then create innovate products and service to meet
What?
those needs.
More slow, please.
So why were they successful? Because his ability to identify, okay, or maybe because
I'm not.
he's on
Don't.
customer satisfaction.
Oh my.
In 90, in 19,
Será como Music Studio, ¿cierto?
Virgin Records,
Yes.
a music store.
Ah, Music Store, okay. Virgin Records.
Is business expanding into airlines, education, and more.
Ay, perdón, es que no escucho. I can listen very well.
I will write it.
Is science.
Okay. Ready.
All right, guys, I see most of you are back in the meeting. All right, so remember, for tomorrow we have two things. The first is I will download your scores for the listening activity in Moodle, okay? So I will take the scores that you have until tomorrow at 6 p.m. and take them. Also, in our class tomorrow, we will start by sharing your short information or summaries that you wrote about famous entrepreneurs, okay? So we will start our class with this activity tomorrow. All right?
All right, teacher.
Thank you, guys. That is all for tonight. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Good night, Miss.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Teacher, thank you.